Good morning to all of you. Good morning to our shapes. Hello. I am Danielle Radford. Welcome to another episode of SJU. This morning we have got Joe Starr.
Hi.
We've got Dan Murrell, and I think the first time special guest, Dorina. Now, Dorina, you might know from Collider, her channel, Super Dorkhouse, and Talks at Google. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, dude.
This is first time. It's very exciting.
Super exciting.
Happy to be here.
This is the first time we've ever had a guest who was specifically like first name only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our first mononym.
Well, because my last name is very difficult to say. It's Arellano, so I tried to tell. It's okay if you can't say it. Mm-hmm. So it can just be like Prince, but without the talent.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And as you guys can probably figure out, this is a pre-tape, so we did tape this earlier in the week, but it should be Friday today. I say should because the last time I did one of these, I just kept talking about how it was Memorial Day over and over again because it was supposed to air on Memorial Day, and then it certainly did not.
We saved it for Easter.
Yep.
So we got some really fun stuff to get into. We're going to talk about some more ticket subscription programs, some movie theaters, and babies. You know that means we're going to talk about MoviePass.
Manna from heaven.
Soak it in. We've got some Fan Friday questions. We're going to talk a little bit about horror. We're going to talk some Little Mermaid casting. But first, this is via Deadline. Regal Cinemas has launched an unlimited ticket subscription program. Deadline reports that Regal Cinemas will be launching a new unlimited ticket subscription program at the end of July. This is interesting. So there's 3 tiers of pricing. There's $18, $21, and $24 a month. And so it says it's unlimited movies per month, but some theaters are not going to be part of the program. But the thinking is that if you get one of the cheaper options and you go to one of the fancier theaters, you'll just have to pay the difference. It's not going to be that you have to buy a whole new ticket.
Like a sketchy ATM.
Yeah, like a sketchy ATM.
Got it.
This is going to be a $5 charge.
An ATM in a college bar.
Yep.
But do you get popcorn though? Because that's what's important.
You get 10% off of concession purchases.
So
That's like $20 per visit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
$19 for
Nailed it.
red vines instead of 20.
Exactly.
Okay.
Perfect.
Exactly. Now, one thing that Deadline is saying is what they hear, their understanding is that it's going to be a year up front that you have to pay, which I don't know if that deters me. What do you guys think about that?
I got burned by Cinemia
Yeah, you did.
because I paid for a year up front, and that money is just lost to me now. Also, apparently lost to them. So, but it's not like Regal's going to go out of business.
No, Regal's
Yeah.
fine. Regal put out when I worked at a movie theater. They came to town, pulled up like, "Hey, I'm the new sheriff
Like
now."
a circus, like big top and elephants. And,
They did. They were only about 10 blocks from like my little movie theater, which was right by my parents' house, and we just watched as everyone was like, "Stadium seating," and just all ran for my little theater.
Dude, it's an event when you get recliners. I mean,
it is.
It's a big deal.
Cineplex Odeon, we hardly knew you. Aw.
would you guys get this though? At all?
I might. I already am rocking with AMC pretty hard, and I'm liking it. And so with AMC, that's the one where it's like 3 movies a week, and then they've got different A-List perks as well. Plus, I go to the AMC I go to, it's got free parking, it's got drinks if I want to do drinks. It's really nice.
I can't remember the last time I saw a Regal theater. I feel like this is going to be real.
It's regional. It's all
Yeah.
regional because like for example, there's Regal theaters in Arkansas where like when I went home, they have Regal theaters there and they have almost no AMCs.
Right.
Oh.
So I think it's very much just this is a great deal for someone in like from my hometown, whereas AMC would be a terrible deal for somebody from there because there's not an AMC theater within 120 miles.
That's great. And so one thing is we don't know yet if Regal's going to include like IMAX or other things like that. Apparently, so Regal's UK-based owners, Cineworld, they've been doing this for years. They were doing this even before MoviePass. We'll get there. They've been doing this even before MoviePass. And of course, MoviePass was the first big success when it came to one of these theater subscriptions, but then, MoviePass passed. I love that they've gotten to the point where MoviePass can actually be a verb.
Yes.
I know.
Don't movie past this.
You don't want to movie past
Don't
this.
movie past
For
this.
them.
Well, that's something. Anytime we talk about this stuff, our UK or European viewers will be like, "We've been doing this for years." Like, catch up, dorks. Yeah, I mean, I guess Regal's got the experience with Cineworld, so. Whatever they're gonna roll, it's gonna work.
And also in our world, we actually get to go to screenings, so I'm not really sure, our viewers would know better than us, right? Like how many movies they actually attend per month, right? Because if I wasn't if I wasn't lucky to get invited to all these screenings, then I might get all of them, right? I might be
Right.
getting every single like AMC Regal, membership that I would want because I would be watching movies. But so I think our viewers would know more than us.
Yeah.
What would be better?
We saw a number. There was like a sad number like a week ago. Like
the average viewer sees like 1 to 4 movies a year.
Yeah.
So this is very much geared towards people that go to movies all the time, which is not everybody. To be honest.
It also depends on what movies, right? Because most of these theaters are showing like the big, like more blockbuster movies, like if the Landmark or like I'm a member of like the American Cinematheque, right? Like because I'm a dork, so I like watching like the more indie films. So I might subscribe to something like that too, right? Because how many times am I going to see Endgame? I don't know, man. How many times did you guys see it?
twice.
2 times.
Twice.
See, that's plenty. That's 6 That's 6 hours of your life.
Well,
Yeah,
and then
6
it's
hours.
like, yeah, a lot of the clips ended up places where you don't download them illegally, but like you would see the clips on YouTube. Like
So you've seen it like 6 1/3?
6 1/3. I've only seen it like I went to the screening because I was covering it, and then I wanted to go with my significant other because that's a thing that you do with movies. It's a date night for sad olds.
Yeah, and then you wait till the movie's actually been out for a while, and you sit in the back and just make out during the whole movie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I should get this. Okay. I'll
See?
get a Regal.
It's really a boon for high school makeouts because it's a
Yes.
3-hour movie.
Yeah.
You get like twice the makeout time. than you
Yeah,
would with
and
a
you're
normal
working at
movie.
like a Pizza Hut or something.
Yeah.
Like, you don't necessarily have the money to go see a movie just to make out. And yeah, I think this is. I'm glad that we found their
4 hours,
market.
3.5 hours of previews.
Look, there's AC. It's very comfortable.
They just re-expanded it to 2,000 more theaters again,
you
so
go.
it's just
Reclining seats. Of course, the innovation in my day was just the cup holder arm that lifted up.
Well, I think the
that changed
reclining
the game.
seats would make it harder to do the movie theater makeout because
Yeah.
it's like there's angles involved and
Yeah,
they're like
that's
super
fair.
wide.
We can draw something. We can actually play Pictionary here.
Like a schematic.
But yeah, no, actually, you just mentioned the arm thing. There were so many popcorn accidents that way. Like I always got all my popcorn spilled. It was so annoying. So I know.
no.
Is that because of like a very dumb date who was
Yeah,
like,
or
"This
just-
is the move, this is
yeah.
time," and then he just like ruined your
No,
snack?
or just my brother being a jerk. It happens.
I will put a date on myself here if it didn't need to already. I was there where the innovation was to put the cup holder on the back of the seat in front of you. The problem being that the sodas would get spilled as soon as
Yep.
anybody walked by. We went as a family to see The Grinch, and our whole array of sodas all bit the dust because somebody just stormed through and just boom, 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 boom. knocked
And you
them
were
all
seeing
off.
The Grinch?
Yes.
See, so your heart actually went smaller.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we were already in
Yeah.
the bad position of being in a movie theater to see The Grinch. And then the sodas being spilled was just adding on top of it.
It's also a problem if you are, a tall person with knees.
Yeah,
They
that too.
were also
fun.
not great for tall
No.
people.
You kick the sodas when you're crossing your legs.
Yeah, the
Bad
point
move.
is, kids, you guys have it great now. Back in
Yeah.
our
Yes.
day.
Of course, you guys can only afford to go to one movie every 3 months.
Also
That's
true. It was
the
also
difference.
$5 when
That's
It's also $5.
Yes.
Well, and that's why these. Look at me, I'm doing it, and that's why these subscription programs are so good. Nailed it. Brought us back on topic. Look what I did.
That's why you're in the chair. It's why you're in the chair. That's
That's why I'm in this chair.
why you're Picarding.
Except for the times when you guys Picard. And so Deadline does note that most polling shows the majority of public agree movie tickets are too expensive. And so in general, I do think that these help encourage people to go to the movies more, I would think. I mean, there's a big difference. I think, what's my AMC? And the great thing about the AMC is it's different depending on where you are. So while, my A-List I think is probably about $20 for out here, it's cheaper depending on where else you go in the country. So it's not $20 everywhere, which is
Right.
just knowing that it's not a monolith. And so, while MoviePass ended up having massive issues, many credit them in their initial successful launch to motivate the theater chains to launch their own services. Do we go ahead and just tip some out for MoviePass and thank them for their service?
they
disrupted.
They disrupted.
They did disrupt.
Certainly disrupt.
They definitely disrupted the
Did you guys
the
ever
market.
try it?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I used the
Oh, yeah.
hell out of
Okay.
MoviePass.
Okay.
This is our,
I cost MoviePass so much money.
Good for you.
Hundreds of dollars I cost them.
Yeah, MoviePass
I don't
is
feel
our.
bad about it. That's how it works.
MoviePass is making fun of MoviePass is kind of our bread and butter here.
Yeah.
It's an important part of the lore here at this channel.
Well, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
gang. Yeah. Oh, so sweet MoviePass.
Sweet MoviePass. Well, apparently, so this is via a report in April via Business Insider, which I didn't know we were still doing MoviePass reports back in April. But
Always.
There's never an end to MoviePass news. MoviePass users bailed en masse after it scaled back the number of movies users can see each month. The flailing cinema subscription provider has seen its subscriber rolls plunge from a peak of more than 3 million to just 225,000 in under a year.
Wow.
That number still seems too high to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, statistically, some of those people passed away.
Yeah.
They died in the theater.
Yes, that's part of it.
Some of them forgot they're subscribed.
Yeah, some people just, it's an auto pay thing. They just forgot about it.
Which is not a bad way to go, actually, if you're reclining in a theater watching a good movie. That's how I want to go.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You're surrounded by your friends and family, and they're being
exactly.
respectfully quiet because it's a movie.
and
Or
my friends
making
and-
out as a teenager.
Yeah.
Well, my friends and family are movies, so it's just like all the characters that I love watching movies. I slowly pass.
I think part of it is just that it's the last time I checked on it, the plan is such that I could see if you are not a demanding moviegoer and you're literally will just go see whatever is available,
Yeah.
and it's usually some movie that's either been out for a long time or it's a smaller movie that you literally you can make no plan. You can have no preference on what movie you see and no preference on what date or time you see it. But I'm sure there's some people that it works for them. They're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
They're also re-releasing more movies nowadays too. So I wonder. So if these passes actually work for those, right? Like if they're bringing back Endgame, right?
right.
I mean, again, we just talked about. I don't know if you need to see like for another 6 hours of your life, but
Yeah.
Some people are. I've seen some people online who have been very psyched about it. Some people are it's that team thing where they're like, I want my team. My team is the MCU, and I want them to beat Avatar. And it's like, hey guys, they're all technically the same team now.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
it's called rich people.
Yay!
Yeah, all owned by the same dudes. But people, they're really psyched about this idea of like, it's going to be up to me. It's my $20. It's going to push this over.
I want to know, of this 225,000, how many of them have stuck with MoviePass because they changed their CEO to a dog? Because that was a
True.
thing. Or
Chloe,
was it
the
their
director of marketing.
Director
The
of
director of marketing. Thank you. Yeah, that was. they made that.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is a real email that the company sent out to their struggling company as they were
Wow.
trying to retain subscribers. It's like, hi, I'm Chloe, the director of marketing. No, you may have heard some things about MoviePass. Everything's fine. Like,
Everything's doggone great.
yeah.
Maybe the 90s are coming back, you guys. That's what commercials were back in the day.
that is
Yes,
like
all
a
talking
commercials were.
dogs
Yes.
with backwards hats.
Yeah.
And
I'm
also,
okay with that.
we do have to say that $225,000, Business Insider did try to talk to the spokesperson for MoviePass, who declined to confirm the subscription number, which is great because I feel like one thing that MoviePass used to do too much was talk too much about everything.
Yeah, they love talking about their subscribers a couple years ago. I wonder what changed.
Yeah. I also wonder with all of the streaming services we now have, like if people, I mean, it's probably demographics, right? But I wonder if people are more interested in staying at home and spending that monthly, their monthly money on streaming services as opposed to going to the movies. I might actually prefer to go to the movies, but I don't know about
But
everyone else.
I think you nailed it because I think that's a dying breed, and I
Yeah.
think that's what these subscriptions are like really aimed at. Like maybe if you don't go to the movies as much anymore, you're in that maybe I go see 4, maybe 10 range. Like this is supposed to get you excited again. To be like, no, keep coming back, get out of your house, stop watching Netflix.
Yeah, hopefully, because movies are great in the theater, you guys. Go watch them. I'm just saying.
I agree. And the more chains that start this, the more that other chains are going to be required to start this.
That's true.
Because why this works for AMC and now Regal and didn't work for MoviePass is that MoviePass was a middleman. So they had to pay the chains the money, which is less. But the chain, this is money you're already paying the chains. There's going to be those months where they make money just because you didn't go see the number of movies that would be more than what you pay for your subscription fee. But also, like the chains are making money on your concessions. They are also generating additional revenue. So there's a lot of towns where you have maybe 2 different chains in town. So if you've got one that says, hey, if you go to the movies 3 times a month, we're going to make it cheaper for you, and one that doesn't, then you're probably going to drive the extra 10 minutes or 15 to go to the one that. So now if there's a United Artists, none of the artists even have theaters anymore.
I
Oh my
do not
God.
think so.
Yeah, I
I'm
think so.
ancient.
Yeah. Remember Suncoast?
Oh, jeez.
R.I.P.
Is
It's right next to the
Carmike still
American
around?
Eagle.
Yeah,
Is there a
Cinemark.
Carmike Mike?
I don't think
Does
so.
it exist? Well, let's say if there's an AMC and a Regal and they both have a theater in the same town, let's say that there's a Regal didn't have this. You want to incentivize people to at least give you an equal shot,
Right.
Yeah.
for both.
No, and I'm definitely, and I love going to the movies and I love going to the movie theater, but, back when I wasn't, when I was even more struggling, artist or whatever, it was way easier for me to just sit and watch stuff on Netflix and wait for it to come to Netflix. But when you have something like this, that's why I jumped on MoviePass, because I was like, I can actually get to go see all of the movies that I want to see before waiting for them to come to digital. Like that's a great point, because it got me out of the rut of just staying home, and it became, because I've always grown up where, you go out and you go to the movies and it's a whole experience,
Yeah.
That's how it was with my family. You go, you get all the popcorn and all the things. It's like a fun family day.
Or you bring in your sandwiches and chips just from home.
Yeah, you just sneak it into the bottom of your purse.
We did.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard of people who used to gimmick coats so that they could fit snacks inside of them. Which seems like a lot of effort.
There was no
Like a
need for
trench
gimmicks.
coat?
Yeah.
There was no need for gimmicked clothing when you wore Jinko pants, my friend. Because I could fit a full meal in those cargo pant pockets.
People shit on cargo pants so much. You did not live in the era of how useful cargo pants could be.
They were hideous, but very practical.
Very
That's
bulky.
a good point.
You could hide almost anything in those pockets.
Throw in all of the good kind of Ritz that you like,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
any of the good Reese's.
Maybe
Kids
you should
that-
bring them back, Dan.
Kids that make fun of cargo pants, I hope you have fun trying to sneak weed out of the house in your skinny jeans.
That's
Because
true.
guess what? Not me, but other kids had big old bulky pockets right there. No problem. Not that you should, and I don't encourage that.
Smoke weed where it is legal in the place you live when you are of age.
Every day.
Every morning.
I'm just going to turn into a skeleton at the end of the show, because this is all about me reminiscing about things that don't
Just
exist
like-
anymore.
Dan just turns into the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. He just starts melting.
Dead.
Does anyone remember terrestrial radio? All right, well, this is Screen Junkies News. We are Fandom Entertainment, as y'all know. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit that bell. We don't have a Ryan, but just imagine I did ding and I did it off because I think it's funny to mess with Danielle.
You had the
Radford.
nerve to go on vacation.
How dare.
I'm a little pissed off. You don't. No one leaves. No one leaves the content factory. So Ryan, hope you're enjoying yourself.
Until all the content has been made.
Exactly.
Sorry, you don't actually get to leave after this.
Yeah, I'm
We
like,
have
damn, I'm
content.
stuck, you guys.
Surprise,
Help,
you're trapped.
Send help.
No. So Stranger Things is back this week with a new season on Netflix. By the time that you're watching this on Friday, again, assuming it is still Friday, you could have binged all 8 episodes. We've got some great content about the show you could check out on fandom.com. Singer Ingrid Michaelson has a new album out inspired by Stranger Things, and Ben Hopkins spoke to the singer-songwriter, I know, really cool, right? About the album and how each track is based on specific aspects of the Stranger Things storyline. I love that.
Cool.
That's really
need
They
more
are
concept
so
albums
good
in
at
general.
music.
Yeah.
We need more. Just bring back the soundtracks. I mean, especially with all of these live-action Disney remakes, they're just rehashing the songs and producing them not as well as Alan Menken did. I wish
Here.
you come on. Okay, even the crappy Batman movies from the '90s had amazing soundtracks.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
No
They need
arguments
to
here.
really bring that back and bring music videos. You know what I mean? That'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
And movie-specific songs.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Songs that, whatever. This is all about the 80s and the 90s and how none of us can ever escape it.
Nope.
But the songs like On Our Own, where in the middle of the song,
If
Bobby
it's
Brown
up to
just
us,
recaps the entire
to
plot of Ghostbusters 2. They forgot about Vigo and everything
the
else.
Master Eater trying to murk my voice. That's not legal. Oh.
It's not just a great
Whoa.
song.
Yeah, you
it's
know it.
specific to
Yeah.
the plot of the film.
They were throwing a party for a bunch of children while all the while slime was under the building.
Yes. It's like the Kramit of music.
It is the Kramit of music.
I'm so happy you guys brought this up. That is my karaoke go-to song.
Ooh,
That's a good choice.
That's
Yeah.
a good choice.
Strong
It's
choice.
really
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
see,
yeah, yeah.
we need that back. I mean, let's not go back, though, and bring back, remember the Addams Family MC Hammer rap? That was bad. So
That was
don't bring
not
that
great.
back. Yeah.
See, I was a very nerdy small child that that couldn't tell the difference between things. So that was just right next to say Hip Hop Hooray and
Oh, wow.
anything Tupac was doing at the
Oh,
time
no.
was also just
What about Ninja rap?
I mean, look at me. Look at
Although
There was no difference between Ninja Rap and Victory by Notorious B.I.G. to me as a child.
all rap.
They're all delightful.
It's all hippity hop.
But since that is a go-to for you, I think I might have gotten a lyric wrong. Because is it Forgot About Vigo or Found Out About Vigo? I think
Found
it's
out about
Found out about
Really
Ego.
bad at lyrics.
Which
The
is
master
even
of
better
evil.
because it's so passive. Like they
That's
found
true.
out.
They
found out about him.
Yeah.
They just found out, and they just found out about it.
Yeah, we just found out.
It's not a very hardcore rap lyric, is
No.
it?
No.
Found out about Vigo. Oh, okay.
Okay.
But it rhymes with legal.
That's true.
I agree. I think there are enough really great singers now that you can do supergroup songs again, like the Three Musketeers Disney
Yes.
songs.
Oh yeah, what
Yeah.
was it? Sting, Rod Stewart,
And
Brian
Bryan
Adams.
Brian Adams.
Yeah.
Oh, of course it was
Yeah.
Brian
All
Adams.
for one.
Yeah.
And then all
Yeah.
for love.
So much raspy in one song.
It's too much.
Someone give the men some water.
Or what did I bring up? Oh, the Batman soundtrack. Remember the U2 song? That was so good. Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me.
Yeah.
Batman
Good song,
Forever.
good song.
Batman and Robin had the
Favorite
Smashing
U2
Pumpkins.
song. Is that incorrect?
No, it's a
No.
great song.
Okay.
It's a great
Great
song.
song. As long as
Okay.
it's not Beautiful Day. That's an overrated song.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
anyways.
that's not it.
Seal singing in front of the bat signal with integrated movie clips. It really
And a
was
fan.
and a fan.
And his silky shirt blowing in the wind to Kiss from a Rose.
Because when I think
Golden
Batman,
Age.
You
I
think
think so.
shirtless Seal.
yeah, I think absolutely shirtless Seal.
Absolutely.
I think Seal's done more for the legacy of Batman than most folks have, because who else can say that like any time, almost 90% of the time you go to a supermarket, you will hear that song,
Yes.
and you will think about Batman.
You will.
Like
That's true.
not a lot of people can say they've done that.
Especially since no
point.
one knows what those lyrics mean.
No one.
No.
What is on the gray? No one knows. One thing people do know, yes, I'm so good. A big part of Stranger Things is the Upside Down. Donna Dickens has a story taking a look on what we've learned about how that spooky place works, including the big influence D&D, that's Dungeons & Dragons, for everyone here who already knows that, has had on its creatures. The links are in the description down below. It is Fan Friday, so we're going to kick off our second story with a fan-initiated question about what makes a horror movie effective. The Great
Yay.
Initiate asks, with the horror renaissance continuing as Annabelle, Child's Play, and Midsommar are all being released this month, what do you think is a must-have element to make a horror movie memorable or effective? I always need the stakes to be clearly defined and adhered to. Dorina, I know that you are a huge horror movie
Huge
buff.
nerd.
What do you think?
I love horror, you guys. I know it's because I messed up, but I love it so much, and I'm so excited about Midsommar. I'm dying to see it. I don't know if you guys have seen it already, but and I really like Child's Play. Whatever people think, I liked it. I think it's just as fun and cheesy as the original. But I think what all these movies that I love have in common is a lot of them. I feel like if you go back to something as classic as Psycho to something that I love, one of my favorite movies is The Shining, they all have something in common where they're just really good at creating tension, right? And so if you have, whether you have an elaborate budget or a small budget, like look at just Danny Torrance driving on his bicycle through the Overlook Hotel in this giant hotel by himself, right? Where you see the camera angles actually turning every corner and you're waiting for something to happen. And it's a really long shot of him just driving around, and it is such a stressful situation, right? And nothing really happens until he gets down and like opens one of the hotel doors, or when he sees the Grady twins, right? Like that you're creating tension the entire time, and you're also not going with cheap jump scares, right? Like I feel like that can be one of the things that people just, the monster's gonna show up behind one of the actors, right? You can all see it coming, but then you have things like Paranormal Activity, like the first one where you actually had scares happening during the day. And I feel like that was something that was new, and when you kind of change how people are used to seeing the genre, that's when you actually grab people and surprise them.
And they literally gimmicked is a negative sounding word, but they like gimmicked tension, where it was like, here's almost a timer.
Right.
And we're going to train you when to start feeling tense, which I thought was brilliant. When I saw Paranormal in the theater, as soon as the security cam timer would slow down, the whole theater would just start go, okay, we're back in it. That was so cool to be a part of.
Yeah, and you're also playing into like what people are actually scared of, right? Like what your phobias are. Like for me, I grew up Mexican Catholic, so clearly anything with demonic possession, I was like, nope.
Yep. Out.
You know? Obviously the Paranormal Activity is just being in bed asleep. Like that's kind of crazy. Like you're gonna be scared no matter what. Lights Out did a great job just using darkness. You know, I don't know if you guys saw that, but and then my second one that I would say other than tension and suspense is music and sound is one of the most important things because I'm a huge fan of Suspiria, and that movie is visually stunning, but it's not the same movie if you don't have Goblin's score in it. Like it actually like it transports you to a completely different world, right? It makes you believe that these witches are real. So, anyways, that's my nerdiness.
Hell yeah.
No, man, score does so much for me in anything. Because I'm such a... I will cry on command as soon as the music tells me to, because the music tells you to.
Yeah.
It tells you what to do. Even movies that I don't particularly like, once it starts swelling and you see someone's eyes, I'm just like, bleh. So the music can trick me into doing anything I need it to.
For me, it's because I'm an evolving horror fan. But I think for what makes movies particularly memorable, and not even like, oh, it's a great movie, but like I remember it, is one or more, but at least one really well crafted scare. Or not even, I don't mean just like a jump scare, but I mean like an image or just like one scare that's like really that you remember. The sinister, the with Ethan Hawke creeping around the house and the ghost just coming into the camera, or Toni Collette against the wall in Hereditary, or even things like Pet Sematary, the original, the Achilles tendon, that scare, or
The new one had a good scare too. I don't know if you saw it.
I did see it. I'm trying to remember.
I don't want to
remember.
spoil it.
Yeah,
but it's really creepy.
but I think that really makes it memorable. Is like, and that the great ones have several. The Shining has like 12 moments like that. The original Nightmare on Elm Street has several moments.
Yes.
The hand in the bathtub, or the wall, Freddy coming through the wall.
Classic,
But being able to craft a really great piece of horror imagery, I think really goes a long way toward making it a memorable movie, because you remember, like with The Conjuring, all you have to do is do this. Like that's such a great moment. Like the build up to that and the execution of it, that's what sets, I think, it apart to be a really memorable movie.
And it's such a simple thing that like the clapping noise, like that's what I was talking about earlier with small budgets, that you don't need a ton of money to make these movies, because just a simple door creak or a children or like children laughing is going to scare you. I mean, just put children in horror movies.
It's so
and
creepy.
horror scary kids.
Yeah.
I get real Jeff Goldblum-y from Jurassic Park with horror movies, where the idea of like they got so caught up with the idea if they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. Yeah. And for me, that's showing your monster. Because something that these movies do so well when they're building tension, is you are telling your own story in your head of what scary ass thing is waiting around the corner as he's riding that big wheel through the hallways and stuff like that. And very few movies, I think, ever really live up to the expectation that you've set up for yourself. And usually it's the ones that it's simple. It's the twins. The twins aren't like running around on the walls going, ah! Like they're just standing there and they're like, hey, come play. And that's
and you're like, nope.
Horrible. Yeah, you're like, nope, peace, I'm done. Whereas even like It Follows does such a great simple job for so much of the movie of it's just coming after you. It's just coming after you. It's in the background. It's coming after you. It's just a person.
The ghost STD is out to get you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a person, and it's so simple and scary. And then for me, the moment, sorry, spoilers if you haven't seen It Follows yet, the moment that she sees it leap 30 feet or whatever, like dramatically leap into a bedroom, like kills it for me. Like it kills the momentum, it kills the mystique of like what they've built.
I mean, Jaws did it best, right? Or not best, but they were one of the first ones where you don't see the shark till the end, right? I mean, one of my favorite, I think very underrated horror movies, my favorite Halloween movie is Trick or Treat. I love that movie so much. If you guys haven't seen it, watch it. And the reveal of like the little creature is actually really cool, because it's completely different than what you would expect, and it's still kind of a monster. So I think when you don't really know who the monster is or what their intentions are, they're way scarier to me.
Yeah. Bird Box was what it was, and we make fun of Bird Box a lot.
I thought you were going to say Birdemic.
Guys, can we talk a minute about a classic? But, like, did you see the
I danced with that director at a comedy comedy festival once.
Did you dance like this?
He did a little bit, and then he like grabbed me and tried to like spin me. And it was like, what's happening?
Get off me, Birdemic guy. Like, did you see the concept art for the monsters? Because they've made the very wise decision to not include what the monsters look like in Bird Box, but they looked ridiculous. And the moment that movie, if they had abandoned, it's all just about what's happening to the people and the idea of they can't look at it or whatever, and had actually shown the dumb thing that they couldn't look at, because that looked like a used thing of Big League Chew tried to be a person is what the monster looked like.
That actually sounds kind of awesome.
Yeah,
a little bit. You know what? I'd watch. Never mind. I'd watch a Big League Chew movie where Big League Chew gets turned.
It's like a remake of
cursed.
The Blob.
Yes, but it's just gum. Just gum rolling, and a very overbearing mother that's like, "It'll take years to digest in your system if it gets in you." Watch that movie. I'm gonna go write it.
Also, the other thing I was thinking is, you also have to break tension, and I feel like Jordan Peele has used that in modern horror movies so well. Like in Us, we saw a lot of really good, simple comedic moments, and because you need to kind of laugh and kind of release the fact that you're so stressed out, and then you go for the kill, and then you scare everyone. Like that's my favorite type of horror.
Yeah, an example, one that didn't do that well for me was House of Thousand Corpses. Rob Zombie is great at here's tension, here's stuff, but he never breaks.
Yeah.
That movie's exhausting after a while because you're like, good God, it's just scare, horrible, and it does not do those like fun releases where you kind of give everyone a minute to like breathe and relax and then get back into it.
Right.
Yeah, because you need that to make that next scare work. If you don't ever give people a break and everyone's just on their seat the entire time, then it's not. You don't get a good scare because you're too busy like anticipating and waiting for it.
And then eventually you need a nap.
I'm just like,
me too. Yeah. That's my thing with horror, where I'm always like, that's why I like the funny ones.
If you put me through that and then you don't give me anything unique or special, then I resent it.
Yeah.
That's why I hated it. It's one of the reasons I hated The Nun so much. It was relentless jump scares, but no really scary.
Nothing else was happening.
And there no real scary imagery, which is like, that sucks, because Conjuring 2 did such, I think, a couple of really scary things with The Nun.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh wow, they could really craft a crazy horror movie around this character, because and then you see it and it's just like cheap jump scares and she's just a monster and that's it. I was just like,
why am I seeing this?
Why did I put myself through this? There's no redeeming value to this whatsoever.
Why did I put myself through this is often how I feel about watching a movie. And it's just because that's why I like the funny ones. I like, your Nightmare on Elm Streets. I like your Happy Death Days. Like, I like when they're funny.
Happy Death Day is great.
Yeah, the sequel was
really
also
fun.
great if you haven't seen it.
I thought the sequel was really underrated. It just
agree.
wasn't a horror movie,
yet.
and so people, I think, they didn't get what was promised, because they were just like, we're going to do something different, and people were like, I don't want that, but I think it's really good.
It worked really, really well.
It's a good sequel for sure.
And they told you exactly what it was, and this is not even spoiling it. They tell you exactly what it's going to be in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know exactly what movie it's going to be. The power of costuming. So this is next, coming from Variety. Little Mermaid casting is coming together. We've got Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. Jacob Tremblay will be playing, which we assume means voice. Yes, there will not be any real big fish. Flounder the fish. Aquafina will play Scuttle the seagull, who was originally voiced by Buddy Hackett in the original. Chicago and Mary Poppins Returns director Rob Marshall is directing. The film will include both the original Ashman-Menken songs from the animated film, plus new songs from Menken and Lin-Manuel Miranda, because you gotta get that Oscar. Miranda is also one of the producers. So what are we thinking about this casting so far?
Well, McCarthy, is still, I think, the in talks rumor one.
She's still in talk.
I gotta go with a good friend of the family, Vanessa Gritton. I gotta go Titus
Burgess, man.
Burgess from not 30 Rock. Kimmy Schmidt.
He is in 30 Rock, though.
Oh, was he in 30 Rock?
Yeah, he's Deaf-One.
Oh God, yeah, he is. God, he's. I feel like he was genetically engineered to play Ursula.
Yeah, you can look
That
up.
would be great.
Yeah, that was his purpose.
You can look up him singing "Poor Unfortunate Souls" on YouTube. Not only is it amazing, he does not change the key at all. So he is hitting all of that upper
That's how
register.
talented he is.
Oh, it is
Yes.
so good.
Yeah, and that is one of the best Disney villain songs, other than Hellfire from Hunchback of Notre Dame, by the way. Poor Unfortunate Souls is a freaking masterpiece.
It is. It's
Yeah.
really good.
While you're at it, do a hard R remake of Hunchback, you cowards.
Yes, thank you.
It's so creepy and weird, and I want to see it.
Yes, best villain in a Disney movie.
Yeah.
It's so messed up. Do it. Listen to Joe.
What are you? You're making a face.
Well,
No one's
only
ever said
because
that before. Thank you.
stylistically, with like every one of these, they're going for photorealism. Like
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast, for me, bordered on grotesque at times with like the clock, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
You don't like when objects in your home
It
talk
is
to you?
weirdly in
Like
the Uncanny
Favreau's
Valley.
movies are like, oh, they want to make these real animals, and Aladdin. It's so the style of these movies so far across directors has been like photorealistic, and it's
Yeah,
like,
so Founder's
how is
not
this
gonna
not
look
gonna look
cute.
slimy? I'm sorry, and gross.
Founder's gonna look creepy
Founder's
more
gonna
so than
look like
cute.
a
You're right.
creepy fish, and Ursula's gonna like look like Davy Jones from the Pirates movies, and then the other option would be to soften it and make it more cartoonish, but it's already a cartoon, so why make it? I don't
not
get
wrong,
it.
Dan.
I don't
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You're not excited for the slimy fish movie?
I just
Well, it's
don't
gonna be so
understand.
weird
It's
if
it's-
because Zendaya's been the rumored Ariel for ages, but
she's
then like
taking
is
all
she
your
gonna
redhead
have,
roles.
Is she gonna have like Waterworld gills? Like
I
and,
hope
like a
so.
weird.
Make it a horror movie,
Yeah.
and then I'll be super interested in watching it.
She's looking for
Amazing.
Could you imagine the Le Poisson scene with the chef trying to kill Sebastian? That would be cool.
Yeah,
Creepy.
I was very skeptical on the content side with Aladdin, and they proved me wrong. So I'm not going to doubt them on the can they pull it off, because they've proven that they can, and that's fine. Like, this is purely an aesthetic thing for me. Like, how are you going to make this movie not aesthetically displeasing to watch?
I think you have to go full Aquaman, right?
Do you?
I don't know. I'm trying to imagine that moment when part of your world where she like does the big dramatic thing under the rock, which as a kid I probably did way too many times using like an ottoman, and then thinking of an actual fishtail behind her. It is kind of
A slimy.
well. Now that you put that in my brain,
Well, it's like there's the great SNL sketch where it's like the two beautiful mermaids, and then Kate McKinnon's like a scuttlefish or whatever.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah, I mean, that I would also watch. I would also watch
Yeah,
it.
to
I
be
would watch
fair,
that, to be
but
fair,
it is
yeah.
a different movie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a very different movie.
No, I get it. Although, if it looks like the underwater scenes in Aquaman, I'm not going to be mad, because those, whatever you think of the movie, those look really good. So we
I
get to
was-
see Triton's castle like that.
I was
that
very
would-
into Underwater Flash Gordon as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
that's why I was like,
imagine those sharks that they're writing, like
No, I don't want to. Sharks
talking
scare
to
me.
each other,
oh, that's
and
true.
doing bits. They're not just talking; they're doing bits.
singing
doing bits.
songs.
Wait, do the sharks talk?
No, but I
I
just
thought there
mean
was
like.
just the one shark that was scary and wanted to kill them.
True. I love the design of Aquaman as well, but
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
just imagine those creatures.
right.
Like a few of them talked, and it was
That's true.
like, but they were like army people. Like imagine that being like, Ariel, don't go. And, like, it just doesn't.
yeah.
I don't
That Duke
know.
of Soul part where the thing just goes, yeah. It was like a
Right,
big
under
blob.
the sea.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Is it just gonna be these like?
That's true. Or Kiss the Girl. It's all gonna be these like weird flamingos singing. That's gotta be super. I want to see this now.
Or what's that weird deep water fish with the like light bulb that hangs off
Yeah.
its
Yes,
head?
the anglerfish.
Yeah,
I'm
like
just-
a weird anglerfish.
They softened how fish look a lot in that movie, is what I'm saying in the
That's true.
animated version. And if they go photoreal, I think it's going to be a little off-putting.
Her weird closet where she hides all her stuff is just full of bones.
Yeah,
that she eats.
yeah.
Just stuff she eats.
Just full of bones of the dead.
Yeah.
I'm into this version of the movie.
Yes.
Like,
Make it
let's
a
go
horror
for it.
movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
make it full on horror.
But do you have any thoughts about Aquafina as the new that one, I think I'm just gonna have to hear it to see what I think
Well, she
of
has
it.
a cool kind of raspy voice. So
She
it actually,
does.
but I mean, Buddy Hackett was amazing, but it's gonna be different. These movies are never gonna be the originals that we saw in the theater as kids. It's
Yeah,
just-
Yeah.
which is fun.
I'm sure that's already started, but the idea of people on the internet yelling about the casting of a bird, it just makes me. There's at least a few people that have devoted their lives now and probably for the next year or however long this movie comes out to yelling about who they chose as the
Yes,
voice
to
of
be
a
a
Somebody
bird.
already made a petition probably to
Oh, yeah.
recast Scuttle.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, by Friday, which today definitely is.
And without actually double checking or researching, they were like, "Are there even seagulls near Asia?" Because I don't know. But on the off chance there aren't. This is cuckery at its finest.
we get so wrapped up, and I think sometimes we don't take a step back and look at the ridiculousness of what we talk about sometimes. And it's like there's probably some people that are very upset that they chose this voice for a bird.
I'm sure they are, but they're upset about something else in their lives.
Seagull Justice Warriors. But you're right. I mean, regardless of who plays who, like, I can't get over the idea of Jacob Tremblay's voice just coming out of an actual fish.
Yeah, that's kind of super weird.
Yeah.
At first,
Big
I was
Mouth
like,
Billy, but with Jacob Tremblay.
no, I don't know, guys.
But Jacob Tremblay.
With Jacob Tremblay.
I just, you're right. I had not thought about the actual musical aspect of it because I love the song so much, but they're singing cartoon fish. There's no way, like, you know that scene where Sebastian conducts the orchestra at the beginning? How are they going to do that? They're going to have some fish playing the trumpet?
Yeah.
That's
Little fish tongues?
Yeah.
Oh, little
I
fish
don't need
tongues.
to see fish tongues or how a fish flipper would actually manipulate the how a trump whatever saxophone works.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just I find aquatic life off-putting. Visually.
Okay, here we go. This is the real. This is the root of it.
okay.
Did something
Are
happen to
you
you at the
scared
aquarium?
of fish?
I'm not scared of fish. I just don't want them to talk to me.
Dan Murrell 2019.
I just find that off-putting. It's against every law of nature that I know. And it's just off-putting to me. Maybe this is just a personal problem.
What if for Halloween we all dress up as fish? Will you talk to us?
Yes, because there will still be felt or some kind of a fabric involved. However, if you went and hollowed out an actual swordfish and came wearing it and started talking to me, I would run out of the
Okay,
room.
now you guys know what to do. There you go.
To be fair,
How to scare Dan Murrell.
everyone should run out of the room if that happens. I think we're ready to move on to fan questions. I don't think Dumbo was a movie. Not too many people saw it. Aladdin did great. Lion King's coming up. I think we've covered it all.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to these Fan Friday questions. This is via the community tab. Keeler12790 says, if you could fuse together two celebrities, who would you pick? I'd put Tom Cruise and Nicolas Cage for maximum energy and maximum insanity.
It's pretty awesome.
It might be too much.
That might be
Too much insanity, too much energy.
Yeah, that's when a hole in the world breaks open. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where
yeah.
you get the apocalypse.
You need to get the apocalypse. For me, I think it's just Kevin Hart and The Rock. Like, just let's get it over with.
Oh, yeah.
They're already merging into one person.
okay.
Let's just go ahead and like jump to the chase. You know.
Okay.
Respect.
If I'm gonna pick favorite actors, maybe I would think someone like Tilda Swinton combined with someone like Jeff Goldblum.
Oh.
I mean, nobody hates them
No.
because they're perfect. So wouldn't that be awesome?
Wow.
Yeah.
That
I just
would
blew your
be-
guys' minds.
Yeah,
huh?
I feel
would
like
talk
you
to
just-
that fish.
I would. I would.
You would talk to that?
I would.
Just saying.
I think you just came up with how we're replaced as a species.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know.
Hancock. They can't be near each other because
Yeah.
if they were too close to each other, the world would just start to crumble.
Right. It's too much awesomeness together.
They're the
right?
keymaster and the gatekeeper.
Yes,
like
they
we
are.
can't.
Have
We
they-
should not get these two together.
No,
Yeah.
that's
No.
true.
Yeah.
Have they been in a movie together? Do we know?
No, and Ryan's not here to fact check,
I mean, they're both in the MCU,
right?
That's
Right.
true.
but
So maybe they were in.
they haven't appeared together in a film.
No,
in the
not in the
MCU.
same scene, but
Not
maybe in the
same
same
scene.
movie. I forget.
And I don't know if they were both in that big picture that they took of the whole
Oh, yeah.
cast. Maybe they were in the same room, but you can manipulate that.
Maybe they're the
Yeah,
same
you can gump
person.
those.
Also,
you know
good
what?
theory.
That would not shock me
You know,
or surprise me at all.
Tilda just does so good with those costuming, and you know,
That's
like just like in Suspiria, where
She
she
was
played
three
so many people,
characters.
she could easily play a Goldberg, and I'd believe it. Or Goldblum, I'd
Or
believe
Goldberg.
it. Or Goldberg,
Or Goldberg.
or Bill Goldberg.
Joe and Dan, what will you guys pick?
I don't know. 'Cause it's like what's the utility here?
Right.
What are we trying to accomplish?
Well, I went with charm. I went with charm. I said, imagine if Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman merged. Like that would be. I think people would start a religion around that hypothetical person.
I would stop being agnostic and join their religion. You're right. That's
that
a
would
good
be like
one.
the most charming person in the world and multi-talented.
And both Canadian. There you go.
That's true.
No, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is not
Canadian, Australian,
No, Hugh Jackman is not Canadian, but Wolverine.
Oh my
is.
God, Ryan Reynolds singing
That's
and
true.
dancing.
That would be the ultimate Canadian, though.
There you
Ryan
go.
Reynolds and the guy who played Wolverine.
There you
go.
That is the ultimate Canadian.
Okay,
Okay.
3.
Yes.
I'm gonna merge 3 folks together.
3?
Oh wow. All right, Brundle.
I'm going with the heart and soul. Brundle. I'm going DeVito.
Ooh.
I'm going Glover.
Ooh.
And I'm going Goodman. And we're going to merge them into the ultimate reliable grandpa.
Yes.
Slightly curmudgeonly, but ultimately lovable grandpa character.
Supporting actor.
Yeah, supporting actor in a film.
Best
Yeah.
supporting actor in a movie ever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty. Those I'm not mad at any of those picks.
I like this.
Yeah, now I'm picturing like Glover with Danny DeVito's accent, or Danny DeVito doing Glover in his own accent, and it's making me incredibly happy.
Yeah.
I
And-
think
With
personality
the swagger
wise,
of Goodman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personality-wise, I think you nailed it. But physically, I just it could be like one of those, like,
monster.
weirdest looking monster ever. Yes, that's a monster I would actually want to see in a horror movie, right?
Yeah,
It's-
yeah. Because also the scientists had the best intentions.
that is that could be a science meaning right, but going very wrong
Yes.
type of story.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder, like, what are the reasons you would fuse two celebrities together, though? Like, I mean, if I'm thinking for me, and we're keeping this PG-13, but Mads Mikkelsen and Idris Elba. I mean,
fair.
you don't even
That's
have
fair.
to merge it; just put them together with me in the same room.
Just
Yeah.
next to each other.
Yeah.
That's great.
Very different merging. No, I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, and last question before we head out on this beautiful Friday. Stephen H. asks, is a sandwich wrap actually just an elaborate burrito, or is a burrito actually just a very specific type of sandwich wrap?
I do think wraps are gentrified burritos. Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and burritos actually, everybody thinks they come from Mexico, which they kind of do, but the burrito that most people know is the California burrito.
Yeah.
And that's not a Mexican burrito.
Yeah.
Burrito it's basically invented as like a bigger tortilla, like with a flour tortilla, obviously, but it was wrapped more as a bigger taco. So just so you guys know. Anyways.
It's like General Tso's chicken.
What?
General Tso's chicken is not like from China.
Right.
It's Chinese food, but it's
Right.
like
Yeah.
it was invented in San Francisco.
You mean Panda Express isn't Chinese?
Yeah. Wraps. Wraps are. I feel very strongly. I think wraps are kind of bullshit.
Wow.
Put your sandwich on bread, cowards.
Now,
Take
see,
that bread.
That's not the. See, the kind of wrap that I have is the kind where it's like hiding a salad
Right.
in a tortilla. Like, those are the wraps I usually get, where it's like you just
Yeah.
take you take a Caesar salad and then you wrap it in a burrito.
So it's like
I
So
think
it makes the
that's
salad way more appealing to eat.
yeah.
Right, and I think that's where the answer really lies, which is particularly with the sandwich wrap versus burrito thing, is that obviously because sandwich wraps exist, you can take the component parts of a sandwich and put it in a burrito. However, I don't think you could ever call a burrito a sandwich, because similarly, I don't think I could deconstruct a burrito and put it on bread and call it a sandwich.
Yeah.
It'd be too messy. It just wouldn't
Yeah.
work. So I think the answer is that a sandwich wrap is a type of burrito, but you can never call a burrito any kind of
But
sandwich.
I want you guys to just understand that what you have described is the Go-Gurt of salads.
Yeah.
Is
Yep.
a salad
wrong
on the
with
go.
Go-Gurt?
Yeah, it's a salad for children.
Do you not like Go-Gurts?
No, I don't. I don't think you should
they're
just put
pretty good.
yogurt in a tube, in a paper
And
tube.
just let
I
kids
used
slurp on it all day.
Isn't it non-refrigerated too?
Speak for
Yeah.
yourself,
Right.
man. I used to love sucking out of that Go-Gurt. Whatever.
I just can't do it.
You can't as an adult man.
I just can't. No.
Don't
no.
knock it till you try it, is all I'm saying.
Okay, no,
All right.
completely fair, completely fair. How much stuff can you put in a burrito before it's not a burrito anymore?
Oh, that's it. I think it depends on the kind of stuff.
Because I don't like the San Diego burrito. I don't
Me
think you should
either.
put French fries in a burrito.
I think
No.
that's a step too
agree.
far.
French fries are a side item.
Agreed.
They're not a main course.
I'm glad I have friends at this table.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
look,
I take a lot of
a
heat for
legit
this.
Mexican burrito, you're only gonna put either meat, beans, cheese, and like potatoes is where it starts getting into crossing the border. Just
Yeah.
saying. I don't like those.
Solid
but-
pun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think any more than that, you get into like a burrito that like Gordon Ramsay invented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I deconstructed a burrito. It's like burritos are fine, man.
Yeah,
We
I
don't
think
feel
it's
like-
you.
Guy Fieri.
I was
Okay.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, guy. Well, no, because Gordon was gonna do that. I don't know if it's still moving forward, but like I think Gordon was gonna do a show where he was like helicoptered into remote places, and then he would make their food better than them.
What? See, that's why I don't like Bobby Flay, because Bobby Flay goes to people's. I have thoughts. Bobby Flay goes to people's grandma's house, and she's like, I make the best muffaletta or whatever, and then Bobby Flay's like, well, I'm a professional chef, and I'm going to put yours against mine, and we're going to put it on TV, and it's like, Bobby Flay, that's not nice. You let Graham have her muffaletta.
I agree. That's where I have a problem with Gordon Ramsay, and I love Gordon Ramsay. The Kitchen Nightmares started out well in the UK because he would go in and clean up their kitchen, and then they would do new food, but the food usually was terrible, and if the food wasn't terrible, then he'd keep the food the way that it was, or the new food that he made was like in the spirit, but now like everywhere in the US version, which is not as good, and also Gordon Ramsay's 24 hours to Hell and Back, or whatever it's called. I watch every Gordon Ramsay show on television.
I love Gordon
Ramsay.
Except for
We watched
Kitchen
the 20
Nightmare, Hell's Kitchen, which is just blech.
Yeah.
I hate it. But I don't like that now every time Gordon Ramsay goes to a restaurant, yes, please clean up the kitchen, but he turns every restaurant's menu into like LA artisanal eating. It's like, no, like
Nope.
it's not a one size fits all.
Right.
If it's a diner, go make the diner better.
Yep.
And they can improve their food. Like not everybody that goes to a diner wants like, a pot roast on asparagus with an au jus. Like no,
Yeah.
like but like they're trying to do like this one type of dining fits all, and I don't like that. Like
They're
he used
making
to.
everything fusiony.
Yeah, it's like, hi,
just give
we're-
me a taco. I
Yeah.
just want a normal taco.
Yeah, or like we're a breakfast place serving a small Bosnian community in Kentucky, and he's like, all right, here's your menu, the most lovely fish and chips
Right.
and a burger, and you're like, no,
No, that's not what
Ramsay.
that audience, the restaurant, that audience at that restaurant, otherwise known as customers that eat there, doesn't want that food.
Yeah.
You have to keep the food consistent with the type of restaurant.
Should we become food critics?
Yeah.
Oh God, no! No, I would be the worst food critic in the world.
Well, see, this is when we call customers audience, that's how we know. You're right. We are out of touch in the internet. You are correct.
Anyway, I gotta go to baseball rehearsal.
Everything's an audience to me now.
Everything's an audience.
I'm like the lady in
Except
Superman 3.
talking fish.
Yes,
They're just the enemy.
Talking through the talking fish are the enemy, real ones.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think about talking fish being the enemy down below. What do you think vis-a-vis burritos versus sandwich wraps? Do you like the kind where it's just hiding a salad? That's the kind that I like. What do you think about Gordon Ramsay's American presence? I think he got way too yelly and not enough carry. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you back on Monday with a big old chat about Stranger Things. Bye!